I was very close to his son. He has 4 sons. None of them has his own house. They are living in the rented house. In spite, for 47 years he was in high ranking of the authority in Iran. For 2 terms he was president of Iran. For several years, or 2 or 3 terms, he was member of the parliament. And for almost 37 years he was supreme leader of the Islamic Republic of Iran. But up to now, none of his son owns any house.
The life of Ali Khamenei remains one of the most significant political journeys in modern Middle Eastern history. For more than 3 decades, he stood at the center of power in the Islamic Republic of Iran, shaping the country's leadership, religious institutions, and political direction. His story began long before he became the powerful figure known around the world. Ali Khamenei was born on April 19, 1939, in the historic religious city of Mashhad in northeastern Iran. He grew up in a modest but deeply religious household. His father, Javad Khemenei, was a respected Islamic scholar, and the family lived a simple lifestyle despite their connection to religious scholarship. From a young age, Ali Khamenei was surrounded by religious learning and intellectual discussion, which shaped his interests and ambitions early in life. As a teenager, he entered religious seminaries where he began studying Islamic law, theology, and philosophy. His education later took him to the important clerical center of Qom, where many influential religious leaders studied. During these years, Khamenei developed a reputation for his deep knowledge of religious texts, as well as his powerful speaking ability. His speeches and lectures began attracting attention among students and fellow scholars. As Iran moved through dramatic political changes during the late 20th century, many religious figures entered public leadership roles. Khamenei gradually became involved in the country's political and religious institutions. His influence continued to grow, and in 1981, he was elected President of Iran. For 8 years he served in that position, guiding the country during a challenging period marked by political transformation and reconstruction. A turning point came in 1989 when Iran's founding revolutionary leader, Ayatollah Khemenei, passed away. After his death, the responsibility of choosing a new leader fell to the powerful clerical body known as the Assembly of Experts. After deliberations, the council selected Ali Khamenei as the new supreme leader of Iran. The position of supreme leader is the highest authority in the Iranian political system. It oversees key institutions of the state, the armed forces, and major national policies. Khamenei would go on to hold this role for more than 3 decades, making him one of the longest-serving national leaders in the modern world. Despite his immense political power, much of his personal life remained relatively private. He was married to Mansoureh Khojaste Bakirzadeh, a woman from a respected religious family in Mashhad. Unlike many spouses of world leaders, she rarely appeared publicly and maintained a quiet life away from media attention. Together, the couple had 6 children. Their sons included Mostafa Khamenei, Mojtaba Khamenei, and Masoud Khamenei, while their daughters included Hoda and Bushra. Many members of the Khamenei family stayed largely out of the public spotlight, focusing on religious scholarship, cultural work, or private family life. Over time, discussions about wealth connected to the institutions under the supreme leader's authority occasionally surfaced in international media. Various analysts estimated that foundations and economic organizations linked to the leadership controlled assets worth billions of dollars, including property holdings, investments, and charitable organizations. However, exact figures about personal wealth were difficult to confirm, and Khemenei himself was widely described as living a relatively modest personal lifestyle compared to many world leaders. During the later years of his leadership, conversations about succession began to appear more frequently. Observers wondered who might eventually succeed him as the next supreme leader. One of the names often mentioned was his son Mojtaba Khemenei, a cleric believed to have strong connections within Iran's religious and political circles. The final chapter of Ali Khamenei's life unfolded during a major regional conflict in early 2026. On February 28, 2026, he was killed in a military strike targeting senior Iranian leadership in Tehran. Reports indicated that the strike occurred at a secure compound and caused heavy damage to the location. Several individuals present at the site were also killed in the attack. The news of his death spread rapidly across Iran and the rest of the world. For many Iranians, it marked the end of an era. Khamenei had ruled the country for more than 35 years, guiding the Islamic Republic through decades of political change and global attention. Following the confirmation of his death, Iran declared a period of national mourning. Citizens gathered in cities across the country to remember the leader who had shaped Iran's political structure for more than 3 decades. Memorial ceremonies were planned in major cities, including Tehran and Mashhad, the city where he had been born. At the same time, attention quickly turned to the question of succession. According to Iran's constitution, the responsibility for choosing a new supreme leader belongs to the Assembly of Experts, an 88-member council of clerics. After days of discussions and deliberation, the assembly reached a decision. The council announced that Mojtaba Khemenei, the second son of the late leader, would become the new supreme leader of Iran. The decision made Mojtaba Khemenei the third supreme leader in the history of the Islamic Republic, following Ruhollah Khomeini and his father, Ali Khamenei. His selection came during a moment of intense national crisis and regional conflict, making the transition one of the most dramatic leadership changes in the country's modern history. Mojtaba Khemenei had long been considered a possible successor. Although he had never held an elected political office, he was known to have influence within religious networks and among certain political institutions. Over the years, he had built relationships with various figures inside Iran's clerical establishment and state structures. After his appointment was announced, major state institutions quickly pledged support for the new leader. Military officials, political figures, and members of the clerical establishment publicly expressed their loyalty to the new supreme leader and emphasized national unity during a difficult period for the country. For many observers, the transition represented continuity within Iran's leadership structure. While a new figure had taken the position, the broader system of governance and institutions remained in place. The legacy of Ali Khamenei continues to shape Iran's political identity even after his death. Rising from a modest religious upbringing in Mashhad, he became one of the most influential figures in the modern history of the Middle East. His decades in power left a lasting impact on Iran's political institutions, religious leadership, and national direction. His story is also a family story, one that now continues through the next generation of leadership. With Mojtaba Khemenei now serving as supreme leader, a new chapter has begun in the history of the Islamic Republic. As historians and political analysts look back on Ali Khamenei's life, they often describe it as a journey from religious scholarship to global influence. For more than 30 years, he stood at the center of Iran's leadership, guiding the country through major moments of change. And now, as Iran enters a new era under a new supreme leader, the legacy of Ali Khamenei remains a defining chapter in the story of the nation.